Get off the right wheel.
It's my honor just to share the stage with a gentleman of this caliber. So please help me welcome someone that could literally work for the Department of Defense because he is show enough the bomb. Double Senior Vice President, soon to be Diamond Senior Vice President, Mr. Tupac Derenoncourt!
Good stuff, good stuff. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Y'all sound tired, like it was a long day at the office. We're in New York City, yes or yes? Yes, sir. We're in Brooklyn, yes or yes?
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask you one more time because I go to a lot of different cities and I hear a better response. How is everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Awesome. Fantastic. That's what I like to hear. Good stuff, good stuff. Before I even say another word, let's put our hands together for Dr. and also Senior Vice President of 5 Links, Mr. Jasper Brewster, please. He came all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, and we have a host of guest senior vice presidents from all around the country here tonight, so you're in for a treat. My name again is Tupac Derenoncourt, and let me tell you, my story is your story. I love coming to East Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York, and particularly because I'm from Lenox Road between Bedford and Flatbush. Okay, and so you know it's one thing to hear about the opportunity from someone that might not live here. But it's another thing when you hear about it from one of your own. Yes or yes? Yes. And so whenever I come back, I try to really make sure to paint that picture that it's possible. Say it's possible.
It's possible.
Great. So apartment 4A, 80 Lenox Road. Okay. Very humble beginnings. I'm the oldest of 6 children. I'm a first-generation Haitian American. Okay. Anybody from the Caribbean in the room? Probably the whole room, right? Okay, good. So that being said, you guys understand the struggle. I understand the struggle. Pets that we didn't necessarily want in the apartment, but we gave them names, right, to get through it. Right? Some of y'all will get that on the way home. But at any rate, you know, I was the oldest of 6 kids. We grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment, 3 bunk beds in my room. You know, that's how Caribbean people do math, right? And so, of course, when it came time to go to college, I decided to go out of state to college because I was the oldest and I was tired of waiting for the bathroom in the morning. Who would have done the same thing? Right? That landed me in Washington, D.C. I went to Howard University in 1990 through 94. Basically, I started a concert and promotions business while I was a freshman at Howard. And one of the reasons why I went to D.C. to go to that school is because I heard it was a very social school and I was a DJ. How many people know that the East Flatbush area has almost a soundtrack to it when you're driving down, right? That was if you drove down my block, you heard music coming out of my apartment window. So that's one of the reasons why I went to Howard, because they said you can not only get your education, but you can make some money on the weekends. And so that's what landed me there. And I started a business because I found out quickly that the guys that were hiring the DJs were making a lot more money. So of course I'm a fast learner. Anyone a fast learner in the room? I started hiring the DJs, right? I was the first one to bring Funk Master Flex. Anybody ever heard of him? Yeah. I drove him personally from New York to DC. That was a good friend of mine. Okay. In addition to that, I was the first one to bring Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Missy Elliott, DMX, you name it, to DC. So I made a lot of money at a very young age, but again, I was only as good as my last big event financially. And although I was blessed to never have a 9-to-5 after college, after 20 years in the industry, I picked up my head and I said, Lord, there has to be a better way. And although a lot of people can't relate because you don't own a business, you have a 9-to-5, you can relate on Sunday night. When you're looking at the clock like, I got to go to bed because tomorrow I got to do it all over what? Again. So that's how I felt in my own business. I didn't own the business, it owned me. Any business owners in the room? Okay? So that being said, I started to look feverishly for an opportunity. Anybody understand you have to be looking in order to find? Right? So I started to look at traditional franchises. IHOP, Quiznos, Wendy's, McDonald's. All of these franchises wanted an arm and a leg to get started. And they say you need multiple franchises to live the American dream. Well, we didn't qualify as a family. Okay, why? Because you needed $250,000 to $2 million for one location. Anybody qualify in the room? Okay, Neither did we. And so that led us to look at non-traditional businesses like network marketing, direct sales, that promise the same reward for pennies on the dollar in terms of an investment. But everything that we found didn't make sense. We could afford it, but it didn't make sense. And the things that we thought made sense, we couldn't afford. So who's been in limbo looking for an opportunity before? Okay, that was us 7 years ago. And that being said, a good friend of mine handed me a magazine similar to this magazine here. It was a Your Business at Home magazine. And he said, I was able to get off the job. I started a home-based business. You need to take a look at it. And I knew this gentleman for 10 years, so I knew he wasn't lying to me. New York, we know we're skeptical people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, Stan, when's the next meeting? It just so happened to be that same night he handed me the magazine, and I landed in your seat as a guest. If you're a guest, please raise your hand, all the guests. I was in your seat September 28th, 2007. It'll be 7 years on the 28th of this month, okay? And so that being said, I said, wow, this opportunity makes a whole lot of what? Sense. I said, why not get involved? And within 10 months, I got to a six-figure earning position on a part-time basis. I didn't shut down my business in 20 years to do 5 links. I did 5 links part-time for 2 years before I went full-time. And the only reason why I went full-time is because it started making more money, passive residual income, whether I left the house or not, versus my business of 20 years. And that's when I went full-time. And at year 3, I hit platinum, and you can earn 7 figures annually at that position. Isn't that huge? Yes. All on a part-time basis, you can make full-time income. Anybody interested? Okay? And so that being said, I'm going to talk about the money that makes this all possible, the compensation plan. Because without that, there is no 5 links. Without customers, us being able to get paid on customers, there's no opportunity. So that being said, I'm going to just leave you with this. I've been able to retire my mother, my wife, build an estate from scratch, okay? All from the comfort of home. And at year 5 in the business, I hit SVP a second time. And that position funds my 6-year-old's trust fund. She makes more money than some adults I know, okay? So this is one of the only opportunities that I've ever laid my eyes on that can not only put yourself in a self-sustained financial position, but allow you to advance the ball for your family while you're alive to witness it. Make sense?
Mm.